Hello, welcome to Metatron's messages from Australia on today, Wednesday, November the 1st, the first day of the 11th month, as we lead into our 11/11 portal. It's an extremely important month in many ways. 11, as everyone knows, or most of you will know, is the number of Metatron. And being the 11th of the 11th coming up, it portends an enormous opportunity, a portal for people to again reach further into our ascension paths than we may have done up until now. It has been a gradual build-up over time, accelerated since the Lionsgate portal earlier this year on the 8th of the 8th. It does not culminate on the 11th of the 11th. That is the message that Metatron has given me. It offers us a greater opportunity if we're willing to put in the hard work on eliminating those negative third-dimensional aspects of ourselves and moving more towards our fifth-dimensional state, which is unconditional love. And saying it is unconditional love by no means means that it is a utopian paradise. What it means is that we are able to leave behind the lower vibrations of fear and hate and greed, envy, and the warring over ideology and territory, and simply because this person here has apparently more than that person there, because the person on my right believes in A to B, but the person over here believes in D to E. It means that we have worked on ourselves. It means that we have sought to reconcile and correct the mistakes we have made in the past within our own thinking, within our own belief systems, within the decision making we have been want to do in the past. Now, over the last week, Metatron and in particular, but others have also come forward with information. So I'm going to be doing quite a bit of talking. All of the messages that I have been channeled through, and I wrote them all down when I got them. And I'd like to simply pass on his messages and his reassurances to everyone that the ascension process is a process which we have been involved in since man first became man on earth. We have, since the dawn of time, struggled for supremacy over each other. And from being a struggle for survival, where individuals banded together into groups so that their collective power, abilities to survive increased, it became a struggle between groups for dominance. And it is this predominantly patriarchal, masculine way of thinking of dominance, which has culminated in our present energetic imbroglio. Now, I am by no means saying, and Metatron is not saying, that women cannot and have not also participated in this almost Machiavellian struggle for dominance, whilst the divine feminine has needed to come forth both in women and in men. There have the actual rise of the fanatical feminist has done as much harm to the divine feminine as patriarchy has to the divine masculine. And I anticipate that there'll be a few people, one or two perhaps, who will disagree with that vehemently. And by all means, this is an era where the exchange of ideas is welcomed, it is applauded. We are not expected to think like a herd any longer. The day of being, and a very good friend and healer whom I know referred to the herd as sheeple, people who would simply flock together and follow whoever happened to be in front, because they had given away their right to self-determination to think for themselves. It was easier simply to follow the herd, and this is what we are being asked not to do. And a lot of talking, I'm going to have to keep on drinking my water, I'm afraid, but it's not a problem. So, first of all, I'd like to spray the Metatron flame spray. Here's a attunement spray, and bring him closer, just so that I can make sure I have that energy as close as I can. So please breathe in that beautiful flame attunement spray, that flame spray, the orange spray that can burn away the lower energies. It can help lift us to new heights, to help us to strive and attain the way of thinking, the way of feeling, the way of being that will lead us to greater peace and contentment, harmony, and also achievement. Now, as everyone will probably be aware of who is watching this, and I welcome those who have returned, and I welcome anyone who stumbles onto my YouTube channel, Susan Alexander, and I encourage you to have a look at my Facebook page of Angelic Vibrations and website of angelicvibrations.net. It's still a work in progress, but it is now open. And I have work to do there, Metatron says. I have a lot of work to do there. What he wanted me to first of all talk about was the fact that whilst 11 is a master number, it's not a master number simply because it is Metatron's number. It is a master number as in a numerological sense. However, what he drew my attention to was that even though it is a master number, and as such in numerology it is never reduced down to a single digit, it is made up of two parts. It is made up of two ones. And even though they are two ones, they indicate different things, because one represents a 10 and one represents a 1. They are not identical. They are not meant to be identical, because they have a different vibration when taken as a whole, as individually. And the word that he brought to the forefront that he wanted me to actually emphasize today, and for us moving into these 11 days, or the 10 days up to the 11th of the 11th, is that of duality. We humans are, by their very essence, a being of duality. we cannot avoid duality in life, where what he wanted to emphasize most of all is that we are not asked, nor are we ever asked, to abrogate, to give away our own divinity, our own self-expression, our individuality. We're not expected or asked to do any of those things. So we are not asked to follow blindly the words of the guru, the person who is the teacher or the acknowledged expert, or the person we look up to for the answers, or who has been a leader so far in the field which we wish to follow, because there are many fields in whole and subjects and subjects, and you break it down into the areas that you wish to follow, and each little area has their own specific expert who wants to talk about that. But what he said is that we are not to blindly follow the herd. We are not to blindly follow what a teacher or a guru has said. We are asked to listen to the words we have heard from anyone, including myself. Listen to the words that we are bringing forward, because we are asked more than anything else to use the power of our own intuition, to think. Duality has two sides to it. There are two sides to a coin. There are two sides to a belief, two sides to a doll. There are a front and a back. There are two sides to the sun. There is the side that is facing us, and there is the side that is facing the other side of the galaxy. There are two sides to the moon. There are the light and the dark. There are in everything two sides. There is life and there is death. There is love and there is hate. There's belief and there is doubt. As there is night and there is day. There are two sides to everything. There is male and there is female. And that actual statement, and I hear him saying, the actual phrase that I have just added, male and female, is not a statement regarding a gender or a way of life. In any relationship, there is a masculine and a feminine. Within each of us, there is the divine masculine and the divine feminine. In any union of two people, there is one person who will at times embody and will exhibit more of the divine feminine, and the other will collaboratively mirror the divine masculine, and then roles may be reversed. It is not to be taken as an indictment, a condemnation, a criticism, or an affirmation or a commentary on issues that are currently causing great furor in the world, particularly within the Western world. It is simply a state. It is simply what is occurring now. But the term male and female are used simply as showing the duality of nature. We are asked to not stop questioning the things which have currently occupied us, questions about how we've evolved and grown, how we continue and will continue to evolve and grow. Because even after the 1111 portal, which is an important portal for us, and as a side note, you have to applaud the establishment of Remembrance Day on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. Such a combination of strong numbers to bond numerically within the psyche was phenomenal for its time, and still holds incredible power for millions of people. And it is as it should be. We should not forget. What we should also not do is use it as a means to perpetuate unnecessary bloodshed against another, or the imposition of ideologies from one group of people to another. The loss of a life through such an unnecessary war fight to achieve dominance is a waste of the divinity within ourselves. We are asked to remember that although Metatron is here to guide us, whilst he gives me messages to bring through for those who wish to listen and who are ready to hear, that there are others who also will bring through messages that may differ somewhat in their content, in their message, in their understanding. And this is how Metatron wants it to be. He does not want any one person to be held up as the guru or the acclaimed teacher who has all the answers because they are plugged in to Metatron or Archangel Gabriel or Raphael or Michael or any of the other archangels. And there are many, many archangels. And depending upon their own, like Michael is communication and strength and safety. Raphael is healing. Shemuel, love. Jophiel, beauty. They have their own, they are known for their own special emphasis, yet they can help with any aspect of the divinity within ourselves. They can help us to emphasize that particular part of ourselves if it is lacking, if we don't feel we are as beautiful, as kind, as loving as, or as strong as another person. We can ask them to teach us how to recognize that part of ourselves, how to strengthen that part of ourselves. And Metatron can help to guide us in the understanding of our ascension and our growth towards a better way of being than the third dimensional way of fear and war and famine and destruction. This is an important part of our evolution and growth. And it is as it has always meant to be. There was never a time when we were not meant to be the decision makers in our own futures. We have gone astray when we have forgotten that we are responsible for the decisions we make. We may make errors. We are human. We make errors. The spirit within comes to earth to learn, and we have chosen the lessons that will afford us the ability to learn. However, as Metatron points out, we are not perfect whilst we are in our human form, and we may make choices that have not been in the highest good of the divinity within ourselves. And in this way, we have accumulated a karmic debt. And I spoke about karma in my October video. We have the opportunity now to learn all of the lessons we have been working on, to be able to be asked to be shown the areas where we have gone astray, to examine those relationships and those decisions which have perhaps hurt people in the past, to seek to redress those wrongs either directly or through the intercession of the Archangels, through using our intuition to connect with our highest good, to ask to communicate with the highest good of the person affected, and to seek to have that error, that hurt, that pain, that misunderstanding forgiven, to achieve a balance there. And in this way, we are making the necessary steps forward to prepare ourselves for the portal that we are coming to. But, and I hear him again, no one will ever be prevented from going through the portal. No one will ever be prevented from ascending. It simply means that we will ascend at different levels. And this is something that has always occurred, and he said it is something that will continue to occur. No one is denied the opportunity to go through the portal. If you choose not to go through, that is fine. You don't have to. No one is saying you must do this. You must work on this aspect of yourself. You must do anything. The choice, the infinite choice, is yours. What we are also asked to do very carefully is to look at what is being said and done. So particularly where the media are concerned, the stories that we are presented with, whether it is on television, whether it is on radio, whether it is by word of mouth from another person, he's saying we need to look and listen and see what lies hidden behind those words and the images that are portrayed, to see what is it is not merely just hidden, but that which is cloaked, because we will not be told the complete truth. We have to use our own higher self, our intuition, and our guidance to see that which has been hidden or cloaked from our obvious sight and hearing. There are people who, for reasons known only to those who are doing this, and they have their own reasons that they feel are valid, will seek to put their own agenda to the fore. But they will do it in such a way that they will make it out to be our truth. They will seek to convince us that what they are saying is for our good, that it is the only way that we can move forward in a given situation. And what Metatron is saying is that as we are each individuals, we are asked to look beyond, to see the duality which may exist. Not everyone will seek to misdirect us, but to seek any duality that exists, and if there is duality, to find the truth that lies behind the words which have been spoken. In this way, we will learn other vital lessons that will also assist us with our own growth, evolution, and ascension. And in this way, we won't make the same mistakes again. We won't blindly follow along because a person of renown, a person of fame has said something and it is automatically believed. We must always approach things with an open mind, not a closed mind. We must acknowledge the duality within ourselves and the duality in the world at large, and seek to find the truth which is there for everyone. And Metatron assures us that he will assist if we ask. So we are asked this November to remember how far we have actually come, how far we have traveled from those first days when we became incarnate, from the first days, depending on your belief, from the first days from when we emerged from the primordial ooze, the first day we achieved an erect status from that of the ape, the first days that we achieve consciousness. Whatever is your belief, whether it is in creationism, whether it is in some form of religion. And I wish Metatron has asked me to please point out here that religion is not, because it is religion, necessarily evil or bad. Religion has served and will serve a useful purpose for people. It has in the past, it still is doing, and it will do for a time or times to come for those who need it. Not everyone who was part of or is part of the Catholic faith is inherently wrong, evil, bad, deluded, misguided, or perverted. I personally was brought up within the Catholic faith. I left the Catholic stricture when, not scripture, although that too has been left, but the strictures of the Catholic faith, when I started to question, when I started to think myself, when I was evolving and growing. But that doesn't mean that everything about the Catholic faith is wrong. There are other religions who have their own dogma attached to them. They have their own way of saying, you must believe in this, you must worship in this way, you must go to church on Sundays, or you are not worthy, you are not holy, you are not forgiven of whatever. Being worthy is something that we carry within us every single day of our lives. We are the only people who can give away our own worthiness to do, to say, to think, to feel. No one can... Actually, no, he's saying I'm wrong. I was going to say no one can take it away from us, but there are people who try to take it away from us. There are people who, by their actions, make us believe that we are not worthy. But it is a reflection of their own lack of self-worth that makes them try to do this. But we, each and every one of us, are worthy. We are worthy of being here. We are worthy of living. We are worthy of evolving. We are worthy of ascending. And there is no reason why we will not be able to move through the 1111 Ascension portal. The portal may glow on the 11th of the 11th, but it will not close. There is always an Ascension portal for us to work towards. We are asked to remember that our journey is not yet over, to listen to our intuition. We are asked to find, even if it is only in small snatches of seconds at a time, to listen to the quiet inner voice and to ask in sincerity, what is it that I need to know? What can I learn from what has been? And what is now occurring that I need to understand? How can I learn from this and become the best version of myself possible? The guru is simply one opinion. You are your own opinion. You are your own best... Oops, here we go. You are your own guru. Metatron says, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe in your ability to become all that you can be. Ask Metatron, Michael, Shemuel, Gabriel, Raziel, Radkiel, any of the archangels and angels. Ask your own inner self. Ask the highest version of yourself. What is for my highest good? What is it that I need to know? What can I learn from this? Ask Spirit for guidance. You are never asked to blindly believe. You are asked to listen, to take it in, to then ask yourself, is this resonating with who I am? Is it resonating with the divinity within me? And to remember, Metatron is saying, remember at all times that the divinity, the divine, is within you. You are the divine. You are worthy of ascending because you are divine. Let your inner divinity be your final guide. Do not give away that divinity. Do not give away your individuality. To finish, Metatron has suggested that I use, because I've talked so much, he said, for everyone, so that no one who listens to this or to any other teacher, guru, opinion that is out there, so that no one believes that they will be unable to make the portal or ascension at any time, to use his olive hope spray. We have the beautiful ankh, symbol of everlasting life, and we have the olive branch of peace and hope. So with this beautiful olive spray, allow this beautiful olive spray to flow over you, through you. Let it settle in every cell of your body. Let it settle in your heart. Let it fill your heart and your mind with the knowingness that ascension, evolution, the future is assured, that there is nothing, neither life's beginning nor life's ending, nor any part in between, which will prevent you from being able to ascend. I'm going to draw a card from the Lightworker Oracle, just as a final message for us. And I hope, in my small way, that I have helped you to understand that this is not, it is neither a beginning nor is it an ending. It is simply part of the journey. We are all incredible people, incredible human beings, and we all deserve all that life has to offer, all that spirit has to offer. And spirit and life is something which is eternal. It goes on. Here we go, he said. And the message is eternal now. And I'm not even going to say anything about it. I'm just going to hold it up, and I'm going to say, as a final message, I think that's really awesome. We couldn't really have asked for anything better to say thank you to Metatron for bringing the message through today for us, for allowing me to be the messenger, for that is all I am. I am simply a messenger. And to thank him for taking the time to help us to understand that both you and I and the rest of the world will be able to walk through this ascension portal, given that we wish to continue to work on achieving the highest version of ourselves, and that he is there every step of the way, as he is behind me every day and through every part of the day. He is there, and he is willing to take the hand of anyone who asks. They just simply have to ask Metatron for help, and he will be there. So in that regard, I will say thank you for tuning in. Have a wonderful first 10 days of November. I think I will see you shortly after the 11/11 portal, if not on the 11/11. And I wish everyone a beautiful, divine, day, night existence to take with you whatever it is that you can, with love and peace. And I will see you on the other side. Namaste.